Many developing countries are paying high salaries to the state employees than they can afford and stunting economic growth in the process. The increase of government employees' salaries could threaten fiscal deficit target and limit overall capital spending, overshadowing potential gains to consumption. Poor country with weak state capacity like India, when confronted with the pressure to redistribute, had necessarily to redistribute inefficiently using blend and leaky instruments set by the economic survey of 2016 and 17. Taken against the backdrop of spending on education, health and defense, the large chunk of government budget goes into the salaries, pensions and allowance of government employees, leaving a trickle for social sector and development activities. India should raise our economic growth by reducing relative pay rates for government employees and using the budget saving to catapult the socio-economic inclusive growth of all citizens. Pension is tension. India inherited the statutory pension system from colonial rulers. At the time of independence, statutory pension was not a big burden on the exchequer for several reasons. The bureaucracy was lean with modest salaries and allowance. The life expectancy at birth as per 1951 census was just 32 years. That means many would have passed away while in service. Those who retired would have lived for maybe another 5 or 10 years. This changed in subsequent years. Unionized bureaucracy at the union and state level relentlessly lobbied for higher salaries and perks. Over the years, life expectancy increased from 32 years to 70 years. This has resulted in a situation of paying half the salary with dearance allowance and periodic revision to government employees who drew salary for 25 to 33 years and pension for another 20 to 30 years. Old pension scheme offers guaranteed inflation and pay commission index pension payment to retired government employees and their spouses after the employee's death without any contribution from the employees. Under the old pension scheme, pension was computed at 50% of the last salary of an employee was entitled to and the government paid it the whole amount. The old pension scheme income was not taxable and the employee was entitled to inflation linked dearance relief every 6 months also. Central government have 68 lakh pensioners. Defense personnel constitute 46% of the total pensioners, followed by the railways with a share of 26.5%. Currently on defense budget, salaries and pensions ate up to 61% of the budget and 19% only went towards buying weapons. For the defense forces, because of this high expenditure, the government is forced to freeze weapons purchase for lack of money. This was followed by the civil employees who constituted 21% of the all pensioners and received 28% of the pension expenditure. The large proportion of the defense personnel among pensioners may be due to the early retirement age of the defense services personnel as compared to other government departments. In 2016 to 17, basic salary formed 66% of the central government salaries, followed by DA 16%. House rent and other allowance made up the remaining 4% and 14% respectively. According to the report on pay and allowance 2016 and 17. Darren's allowance, additional compensation to cover cost of living increases, accounted for a large share of the pay structure, 42% than the basic pay 36% between 2011 to 2016. Again the trend changed in 2017 after the revision recommended by the 7th Central Pay Commission. Pension liabilities grew rapidly because of greater longevity, inflation adjustment and generous pay commission handouts.